Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Rush Hour podcast. I'm your host, Harrison Warner, here with my co-host, Dr. Rush. Today we have two special guests, Mr. Anderson and Armon Almuttar, joining us. We will introduce them to you more thoroughly shortly, but for now, let's rush into it.
Hey, good morning, Harrison. How's it going, man?
It's going great.
Excellent. Good morning. Good morning, listeners. Welcome, guests. We were apologizing for last week because we had some ice, so we had to postpone. But here we are, episode 3. Very excited about it. Hey, Harrison, I don't know if you know this. It's Super Bowl week.
Yep.
I know you don't have any interest in the game this weekend, but in all seriousness, your Pats against the Seattle Seahawks. Tell me who you got. Be honest.
First of all, I think it's gonna be a really good game, like the last one. But I think if it starts to be like a shootout, which the Seahawks are really good at, but we have a great defense. If it starts to be like a shootout, that's why I don't think the Patriots offense can like hold up with them. But if we can keep it as a low-scoring game, which we've kept almost every single playoff game, I think we can win it. But I think the Patriots are going to win if we can keep it a low-scoring game.
A little birdie told me you might be headed to the Super Bowl. Is that true?
Yes, I'm excited. The only other Super Bowl, I'm going with my dad, my uncle, and my cousin. But my dad's only other Super Bowl he's been to was the 28-3, which is a pretty good
memorable.
One.
That was a memorable one.
Yeah.
Well, for me, no disrespect, but I have some concerns about Drake May and the turnovers. And JSN, man, I mean, what a weapon for the Seahawks.
Supposed to be raining too.
That dude's awesome. So I don't know. I'm gonna go slight edge to the Seahawks, but like you, I hope it's a great game.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned this at the top of the show. We are very lucky to have two guests today. I will also say the first two guests ever on the Rush Hour.
Yes.
And so let me do a little introduction. Armon Almuttar, you mentioned, is a senior here at Parrish, an amazing young man, happens to be very gifted at basketball. Just a couple of things for you to note. 1,300 points is among the top 5 in school history, over 800 rebounds, top 3 school history. I know we still got games left. Multiple time all-district, first team, all-state, TABC All-State as a junior and a senior. Obviously a state champion 2 years ago. We fell just short last year, but we're going to get another one this year, right, Armon? Is that okay? There we go. Attaboy. A captain the last 2 years. Had offers from schools like Cal and Drexel, Sacramento State, Air Force, and is going to Northwestern State next year. Has won numerous academic awards. And Mr. Anderson, you can probably attest to both Harrison and Armon are walking examples of our 3 Ps, our educational philosophy, which, boys, you're going to hear from me today at Chapel. Just being really prepared for life, really passionate about the things that you do, and really awesome human beings, just really principled young men. And so I'm proud of both of you. And Armon, obviously, you only got a few months left here, but thanks for joining us on the show. The other guest is Mr. Chris Anderson. Mr. Anderson is well known to everyone at Parrish, has been here over a decade and served the school in many capacities as a math teacher, as a varsity basketball coach, as a assistant head of middle school, and is now the head of middle school. He is a father of 2. He is a husband. Maybe most importantly, he's a fighting Texas Aggie. There it is, Mr. Anderson. All right, gentlemen, so you heard Harrison and I talking about Super Bowl. Mr. Anderson, who you got for the Super Bowl?
Okay, well, first, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. This is first podcast, really excited, sports nut like you both. I'm going to look right at Harrison in the eyes and say I'm going for the Seahawks. Partly because, one, they need a little redemption from the last time they played the Patriots.
For sure.
But they also got a little tie to the Texas A&M Aggies, even though they stole our 12th man. I'd like to see Seattle pull it off. Yeah, I would.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Armon, what do you got? I know you're not a super football guy, but what do you got?
Yeah, really, I just want a good game. It would be cool if the Seahawks could win because I watched them a little growing up, but I don't really know much about football.
All right.
I had it easy growing up because I'm from Kansas City, so Chiefs fan.
You got the Chiefs. Well,
Yeah.
they had a great run for a long time.
Yes,
So there you go.
All right, so I have a question, but real quick. I was talking with my dad. It's funny because when Brady used to, for those 20 years, he used to win all those Super Bowls. Everyone used to always pick against them. Do you think the Pats are back or no? You think it's just like a 1 year thing?
I think they're back. Truthfully, I think Vrabel's got them going. I think they've got a great foundation in Drake May, and like you said, the defense is phenomenal, and I think they're back.
All right, so I have a question for any of you guys can answer. How many players do you think have played Texas high school football, just any place in Texas high school football that are in the Super Bowl now?
In this year's Super Bowl?
In this year's Super Bowl.
All right, so each team has like 50-ish guys, so like 100-ish.
I think I may have seen this on social media, and I'm trying to recall.
I'm going 15%, like 15 guys. Total guys.
You got 15? What do you got?
I'll say 12.
12?
I actually was going to go 15 as well. I'm going to pull the prices right. I'm going to go 16.
Actually,
$1.
14 players with Texas high school football roots are featured on the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. And I arguably say two of the best players, Jackson Smith-Najigba, went to Rockwell High School. And you could say Drake May's not – I don't think – Christian Gonzalez, both tied, I think, for the best player. But Gonzalez went to the Colony, and then there's – bunch of other players, but yeah,
that's
which
awesome.
Is really cool. People talk about who's the real high school football state. I think that people got the answer, but yeah. So today we have a good one. We have old school versus new school topics. LeBron, Jordan, the Redeem Team versus Dream Team, how the 3-pointers have shaped the game, and the greatest sports moments from Mr. Anderson and Dr. Russ's generation to me and Armon's generation.
I feel like there's an age thing going on here, Mr. Anderson.
I would agree.
Whatever. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. All right, Harrison, go for it. What do you got?
All right. Well, I have a question. Does anyone think that LeBron is better than Jordan?
It's a hard topic, but I would say LeBron is better than Jordan just from skill. I feel like he can kind of do everything. I obviously never was able to watch Jordan, but from what I know, they're both great players. But I feel like just the new generation, you have them beat in skill.
I think you're right. It's a hard comparison. Any kind of comparison of greats as era and all that. I mean, you look at LeBron, just his body type. If he had played in the 80s and 90s. It's hard to say that he would not have been dominant. He definitely would have been dominant. Who's better? It's always a great debate. You can look at stats, you can points per game, rebounds, all the stuff. They're fairly similar, more or less. Championships, obviously, there's that, but that's not really individual. That's more team-based. You can have a guy that takes over a game or just as clutch. I think Jordan was maybe 6-0 all time in the finals. Yeah. It's hard to beat. But the thing for me, if I had to separate it, and I would say slight edge to Jordan is, when you win Defensive Player of the Year, and that's not to say that LeBron is not a good defensive player, but when you win the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, you're pretty legit. And Jordan has one of those, and LeBron does not. So I don't know, slight edge to his airness.
Yeah, and I grew up from Chicago originally, so diehard Bulls fan.
Yeah.
My room was decked out with Jordan. I think we've got a little bit of the advantage too because I've seen both,
yeah.
right? So, and I would agree with you. I think Jordan, to me, what LeBron doesn't have that you hear about a lot, that even Kobe had, is just that killer instinct.
Sure.
I would tell you that you'd watch a game, and I'd be in the fourth quarter of the Bulls game, and they'd be down maybe 15-20. You weren't worried at all because you knew Jordan was going to take over the game and just dominate. And so, just a pleasure and just a privilege to watch him play. Now, I will say LeBron, for the longevity and what he's been able to accomplish is incredible. And Jordan wasn't able to do that. Right. So you gotta tip your hat to LeBron.
Although Jordan did play major, pro baseball, not major league, but he did play pro baseball.
Agreed.
So there's that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people always talk about longevity and you can talk about stats and LeBron's scoring or LeBron's all-time scoring, but when you're playing for 20 plus years and he's arguably, which I think he's the second greatest player of all time. You're gonna if you're gonna have that much and you spend millions of dollars on your body, Jordan, he made millions of dollars, but not that as much money to spend that on his body. And as I said, longevity. Jordan played 4 seasons less in 280 fewer games than LeBron. Jordan has 2 more rings, 2 more Finals MVP, 1 more MVP, 1 more Defensive Player of the Year, 9 more scoring titles, 3 more steals titles, and 3 more All-Defensive teams than LeBron.
You just proved it right there.
But yeah, I think it's really hard to debate any player from generation to generation, and honestly in any sport, because if LeBron was playing back in the 80s, I mean, first of all, they wouldn't have the same technology, but if you would put LeBron into his prime in Miami, or 2016 in Cleveland, and you were to put him in 1980s, I mean, he would probably absolutely dominate. But if he was to grow up in that generation, he's not going to have that same type of equipment and stuff to use like Jordan.
I think you're right. The era, it matters. Nutrition and just, my generation was bigger than the generation physically. Your generation is bigger than us. Just normally we're getting bigger, faster, stronger as humans, thinking more about nutrition and body care and things like that. So it's hard to compare. But what do you got? Next one.
All right, so we got the 1992 Dream Team versus the 2008 Redeem Team. Do you want me to list the starting lineup for both?
Let's do it.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask a quick question.
Yes.
Is it those 2 teams at that moment?
Yes, at that
or
moment.
Is it in all of those players in their prime?
I mean, because I see what you're doing there, because Bird and Magic, they weren't really in their prime. Yeah, they can be in their prime.
Okay.
All those players in their prime.
Okay.
I think that gives a slight edge. But so Redeem Team has Magic, Jordan, Bird, Charles Barkley, and Karl Malone.
That was the Dream Team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Redeem Team: Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard.
Wow. First of all, what a game that would be to watch if we could do it. I would definitely pay money to watch that game.
No doubt.
But that's hard. That's a hard one. I guess the question is, who's the coach and if they're gonna actually play basketball and D-up and all that kind of stuff. I would say Redeem Team, and just the nature of basketball right now is a little more up-tempo, a little more offensive-minded. Back in the day, there was definitely it wasn't that it wasn't about scoring. You'd have those guys would be your scorer, but defense was a little more prioritized.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm definitely biased because of my age, but I think that would be a heck of a basketball game.
Great game.
No refs, just let it go. I mean, Armon, what do you think, man?
Yeah.
I think the Redeem Team would win. So, I feel like it would obviously be close because it's professional basketball players and greats. But any team you have LeBron and Kobe and Dwayne Wade on the same team, it's just, I don't know how you could compete with that and match up against that. It's just you can't stop it from any angle.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting, I would say from a basketball standpoint, skill development has just, the game has transcended so far. I mean, so if you look at you think of, a simple move called the Euro step, right? That was non-existent. You just see what these guys are able to do with the ball. But like Dr. Rush, again, a little biased, but to me, I just look at those starting lineups. I'd have to go with the Dream Team. I'd have to go with the original.
I'm kind of a little bit in the same boot as Armon. I didn't see, obviously, the Redeem Team play. I was too... I wasn't...
Dream Team. You didn't see the
I didn't see any of them play.
You didn't see any of them.
I wasn't...
because he's a young guy. So
I was
about
young,
13,
but, when you have, especially Magic, Bird, and Jordan all, in their prime, that's arguably 3 of the top 10 players right there. But, dude, Kobe and, LeBron and Carmelo, D-Wade...
Who is starting center on that starting lineup again?
And on the Redeem Team?
Dream Team.
The Dream Team, Karl Malone. Well, that's who
Okay,
they have
so they
down
went a little
here.
small then in that
They went
starting
small,
lineup.
okay,
So
Barkley, Malone.
Well, how tall
was-
is Carmelo? Because Carmelo was the 4, I guess, for the
Really?
Redeem
7'6".
Team.
He's tall.
Yeah.
He's tall? Yeah. I mean, I might have to give it to the Dream Team just because like Bird in his prime. The only the argument that people make is like LeBron can't go Bird can't guard LeBron, but it's not just like a 1v1 the whole time. When you have like help defenders or even you can even switch. I just feel like it's so much different. Like I said, like it's really hard to compare eras. 16 years difference, and how so many different things. But I'm gonna give like the slight edge to the Dream Team. I think it would come down to the last few possessions though.
So you don't think that prime LeBron with prime Kobe and prime Dwayne Wade you don't think they would win?
I think a better big three. I think prime Bird, prime Magic, and prime Jordan is better than prime LeBron, prime Kobe, and prime D Wade.
It's an interesting argument, right? And I think one factor that would be out there is with all those greats, who would be super selfish, right? I mean, all those guys were individually great, and if you're in a game like that, are you selfless? Are you selfish?
Yeah,
and
I
so
don't
that'd be
think
interesting. I don't know.
Magic was almost
Distributor,
6'9" point guard.
Exactly.
Who was an assist machine. So, I think Kobe and LeBron, it's like on the same floor at the same time. They're both, and even D Wade, like they're all ball demanding guys. Like they need the ball in their hands. It's almost like Curry can really play like off the ball. Like that's how he gets open for his shots. But LeBron always needs the ball in his hands to make something happen, and that's what happens with like a lot of players you see nowadays. Luka, he needs the ball in his hands. Like he can't, unless you're a guy who can really play great defense and maybe like sit in the corner. Luka can't really play defense, so he needs the ball in his hands. That's why he's such a good player, which is not a bad thing. Like you're the best player on the team, you need the ball in your hands. But I think slight edge to the Dream Team, but it's a great argument though.
To the question about like being selfish or selfless, I feel like in situations like that, there's almost like a respect where nobody wants to overpower anybody, and it's
Be the ball hog.
Yeah, because you know that you're on an Olympic team. Everybody's great. Everybody deserves to be there, and so I feel like it's like almost a mutual respect to just play basketball the right way. And I feel like that's what everybody loves at the end of the day, just playing good team basketball. That feels a lot better than having
that's kind of what happened.
Great point.
A few years ago, when they kind of let the older guys play, like LeBron, Durant, Steph. Halliburton didn't even get in, and Tatum barely played. Tatum's coming off an NBA championship, arguably top 5 in the NBA at that point, and the 4 people ahead of him, besides maybe one, were all not on that team. So I think it's a little different, but yeah, I agree. I agree with what you said for sure.
All right, here we go. It's the HW assignment, the homework assignment. So I got a question for you, gentlemen. We're going to stay in the basketball world for the trivia question. So who's the former NBA player whose silhouette is within the NBA logo?
Oh.
No? Armani, no?
No clue.
Jerry West.
Oh.
Jerry West
Nice
is the answer. Okay.
Good job.
Jerry West was a 14-time NBA All-Star.
Okay.
There are 3 other players who were 14-time All-Stars. Can you name any of them?
LeBron.
Kareem.
I'd say LeBron, Kareem.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's that.
Jordan is one. The other 2 are
LeBron.
you have not named them.
LeBron hasn't made 14?
No.
Oh, 14 on the dot?
14 on the dot.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
that
14 on
changed
the
it.
dot.
Jordan is one.
Is it current players or is there any current?
Both passed. One has recently been named.
Okay.
You just mentioned him in our last little
Curry.
segment.
Yeah, I was going to say Curry.
It is actually Karl Malone.
Oh.
And then the German Moses, Dirk Nowitzki, is the other one. All right, so all 4 of those guys had 14 All-Star nominations, which brings us to the NBA single game record for three-pointers in a game is also 14. Do you know who did it?
Yes.
Klay Thompson.
Yeah. He had 60 that game.
Klay Thompson is correct. Armon for the win. Nice. Well done. Yeah. Well done. All right, Harrison, back to our main topic of the day, old school, new school. What do you got?
All right, so again, like we said, old school, new school. we have like 3-pointers and how it's so much of a difference. Obviously, like, even back, I'd say starting, you have the great shooters like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen earlier, but I mean Steph Curry really took the 3-pointer and skyrocketed off of that. And back when you guys played, like early in like Bird and Magic's career, they didn't even have a 3-point line. So, what do you guys think of seeing that in the NBA today compared to when you guys were younger?
I would agree with you. I mean, I remember vividly as the Splash Brothers with Golden State. I mean, you said it skyrocketed and changed the game. When I would go to youth sporting events or I'd watch my guys go and play and halftime, I mean, everybody was just jacking up threes. I mean, you just saw the change in the interest. I think it's totally changed the game. I mean, you look at, back to our conversation with the Dream Team, Redeem Team, you look at what bigs can do now from the 3-point line. It's unreal, right? I mean, the term stretch 4 was non-existent. Well, that's a stretch 4 because you got bigs that can shoot the 3. And then I also think about how, you go back to the Jordan-LeBron debate. Jordan was not going... I mean, I'd be curious to look at stats of how many threes Jordan took in his career, whatever. But if he made that a bigger priority, that would have changed his game.
For sure.
But, I mean, it has significantly changed the game of basketball. And it's impressive to see how well people can shoot it.
For sure. Yeah. What do you think, Armon?
I kind of agree. I never obviously played or seen basketball without the 3-point line, so I don't really know. But I feel like the 3-point line definitely upped the level of basketball. Like, no lead is safe. The floor is more spaced out because people are behind the 3-point line now. So I feel like it really just made the game better from all aspects. Until, like, if you go to an NBA game, the first half is just a bunch of people jacking up threes, trying to get going. I feel like I don't like it from that standpoint because I kind of feel like people, they prioritize it too much at some points. But I think it made it better.
I agree. I think, like you said, like if Jordan used the threes, like how much could that elevate the game? But I also think it's a difference with, like you said, spacing, and you have people above the 3-point line, and that's such a definition of like 5 out. Like I really could not imagine like running plays with like no like 3-point line there. Like it's just like the free throw set right there. I couldn't really imagine it, but obviously the players played in that era. But it's crazy that like even LeBron said it. It's even 20-point game going into the fourth quarter. That is not safe at all. 15-point game with 8 minutes left. I think Steph Curry really changed like that narrative. He has 4 times as many games than anyone with 10+ 3-pointers. How many times do you think he's had a game with 10+ made 3-pointers? And he's been in the league for a while.
I'd say at least 20. I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say in the 12 to 20 range, but it's probably more. That guy was incredible. I don't know.
He's made 22 games with 10+
That's
3-pointers,
crazy.
which is funny that he doesn't even have the all-time 3-point record. But I think Curry obviously is the best shooter. And before Curry started really getting in his rhythm around, I'd say 2014, 2015, the single season 3-point record by one player.
Lexi Bogues
was 300.
I don't know, what was it? Who was it?
No, I don't know who it was, but that year Curry shattered the record by 102.
That's crazy.
He had 402.
That's crazy.
Record before was 300, which is just, it goes to show why that 73-9 Warriors team was such a powerful team with,
hard to stop.
Teams now shooting I remember the Celtics, their championship year, they would put up 43s a game, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's hard.
I agree with everyone. I think the 3-point line it changed the game for the better. Obviously, most of our lives we had, we knew a 3-point game. But back in the day, you had a couple of guys. Like the Mavericks had a guy named Dale Ellis. He was their 3-point shooter. And then little guys like Muggsy Bogues. They didn't want to bring it in with the trees. The little 5'6" guys playing NBA would have to jack it out there. Michael Adams, I believe, played for the Nuggets. Yep. He had a weird shot, but he was a 3-point guy. Obviously, we were in the era when the 3-point contest started for the All-Star game, which is coming up. But yeah, I agree. It's way better with
yeah,
the 3-point.
people like I think now or back, I'd say 90s probably. Teams really had like that one guy who could really like shoot the three. I feel like now
Everybody can.
almost 95% of your team can like really shoot the three, and I think that's like so valuable. Obviously, people say threes are better than twos, but like people would much rather take a wide open three than maybe like a mid range, because they work on the 3-pointer so much more than something that's inside the 3-point line, which I think could be good and bad at the same time. Like in the NBA, more people want to watch, I'd say, like the NBA more than the WNBA, because in the WNBA it's like so fundamentally basketball. Like it's like legit,
Right.
like that's how you're supposed to play basketball. In the NBA, you have like poster dunks and flashy plays and like deep 3-pointers, and that's not how the WNBA plays. They actually play fundamental basketball, which I think is like for example, like Klay Thompson in that 16 when he hit 60 points and he had those 14 threes. How many dribbles do you think he took that like whole game?
Dribbles?
I think
It's going to be low.
I bet it's low. I mean, just such a catch and shoot guy.
11 dribbles.
That's crazy. I mean,
And
he had 37 points in one quarter.
Yeah,
in a
like
game
that is
once.
ridiculous.
37 in a quarter.
That's like 37 in the quarter is usually, that's even kind of high for a first quarter. Like that's like just one quarter as a team. That's
yeah.
high for a first quarter, which is
Armon,
absolutely.
I got a
crazy.
question for you. So, if we go back to the 60s and 70s before any of us, the no 3-point line, and now there's this barrage 3-pointers. You got guys like Wemby, you've got you've got LeBron, you got really tall, you got big dudes taking threes. Do you think the NBA should ever consider a 4-point stripe?
I was just thinking about that, and like I don't even know what that would look like, because it's like hard to imagine.
Anything past half court is 4? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to imagine.
There'd be
and
no
I feel
corner.
Like,
I feel like
yeah,
it'd
you
be
wouldn't
so
be able
hard
to
for like
have
a
a corner,
corner.
because the regular 3-point line is already
Right,
close to the
right
out of
on the-
bounds,
exactly.
and so it'd have to be from the top. And I don't know. That would definitely make games a lot more interesting though, with like game winners and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like
It's just fun to think about.
you wouldn't be
So,
able to add it with keeping it like good basketball. I feel like it would get a little out of hand.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Quick,
fair.
quick question, real quick, before we move on. For you, since you played high school basketball and going on to college, do you have like a certain player that you like watch and like seriously try and model your game after?
For me personally, no. I know a lot of people do, and they try to like mimic their movements and how they play. But for me personally, I just try and play good basketball. That's what I preach. Good basketball. I don't like to try and be too flashy or do anything too extra. Just win.
Yeah.
I think that speaks to the culture of your team too. I mean, you guys are. It's so fun to watch you play, but it's even more fun to see you, hanging out at lunch together, or showing up to a middle school musical together, or just being like a brotherhood and doing team the right way. And I know Coach Ajami gets a lot of credit for that, as he deserves. But that's just fun to watch. So
Yeah.
sorry to digress, but it's
No,
all
no
honestly
problem.
fun.
Going off to like just speaking about the brotherhood here, it is definitely amazing, and it's just something I've never seen before. Like I had it with like AAU a little bit,
Right.
but
But you're playing all the time AAU and you're
yeah,
traveling.
and like AAU, we're in hotels together,
Right.
where it's kind
You're
of
living
like,
together.
It's a different setting,
Yeah.
but to have it in school ball, that's just something I've never seen. You might have like a couple players out of school, but
Right.
here, literally, like the whole team is like.
We're running out of chairs, and all the bench at home
Oh,
games
yeah.
are going into the
There's
by the
been-
concession stand.
There's been a game or two where like we just couldn't bring all the players we had because
Right.
there wouldn't be room on the bench.
Well, exciting couple weeks ahead for you guys. All right, Harrison, we got one more topic.
All right, final topic. We have greatest sports moments. I'd say you guys can go maybe early 2000s and behind that.
Okay.
So what are
That we've ever seen, we were there in person. That
you've ever seen,
it could be on TV too.
or you were even alive for it, that you've like seen a little after maybe.
So I remember one of the first sports things that I ever saw on television. I'm dating myself because I'm the oldest person around the table. But I was a young boy, and I watched the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey game against the Soviets. I was six-ish years old, and I fell in love with sports. And I've never played hockey, but I I just fell in love with the whole competition thing.
Yeah.
That was one. I was fortunate to see Michael Jordan in person here in Dallas against the Mavericks. I think he had 80 something points. It was ridiculous.
Jeez. You saw that in person?
I did. It was insane. It was the only time I saw him in person. I have been to a Super Bowl. My team lost, but it was a good game. Lost to the Chiefs a couple of years ago, Eagles Chiefs. It was a great game. I'm not sure I called the holding at the end, but whatever. I'm bitter, and we got our revenge last year. Anyway, I would say that we got to go to I'm a Cubs fan. I know Mr. Anderson as well. I got to go to the Game 3 World Series in 2016. And as a fun thing, as I was walking out, I ran into Donovan McNabb, who's from Chicago, who's a Cubs fan, obviously Eagles quarterback. So it was like one of the greatest sports nights of my life. Yeah, I'd say those 1999 bonfire game, A&M. My wife and I went down there. That was emotional for all kinds of reasons, and we won. But it was a really good example of two universities that have animosity towards each other getting together. And I did go to the A&M Alabama game a couple of years ago, the game where Devon Achane, now Achan as he says, had a big kick return. That was fun to be in, storming the field. That was fun.
So Armon, what do you have?
For me personally, it would probably have to be like just 2015 to like 2018 when the Warriors and Cavs were going back and forth in the playoffs, and just that battle they had, that really got me.
Comeback.
Yeah, that really got me into basketball for real. I remember just being a little kid laying on my floor watching it, and it was just great basketball and so exciting for me to watch. And then, so I'd have to say that, or I don't know if he kind of has like a sports moment. Recently, I got to meet Stephen Curry, and that was super cool for me. That's my favorite player,
awesome.
and so
That's awesome.
that was a super cool moment for me.
Yeah, that's sick. I mean, being a Boston sports fan, I've seen since I've been born pretty cool moments. I've been to, I think, 3 NBA final games. I went to 2 when we went in 24. One in Boston, one in Dallas. The one in Dallas we lost by like 40, but I mean we won the series anyways. But I met a lot of people like last summer. Me and my dad went to this like Fanatics event. I got to meet like CeeDee Lamb, T-Mac, Jamar Chase. I got to meet so many people. It was surreal. But also like the Tom Brady, which arguably I think is the greatest Super Bowl of all time, the 28-3 comeback.
Yep.
So like motivational. Like if you see what he like was saying during the game, what he thought of during the game. Bill Belichick even said at halftime, 21 points won't be enough, and then they scored, and Tom Brady said 28 might be enough, but he said he wants to go down fighting, which I agree with. And then obviously the rematch, the 1 yard pick, which absolutely crazy. I mean, never seen anything like that. But yeah, I've seen a lot of cool things. The Steph Curry Olympic run, that was legit. That was
That's
pretty,
on my list.
That was pretty crazy. And then Kawhi Leonard, like we said, the 3-pointer. So many things have like happened just because of the 3-pointer. Most game winners are a 3-pointer. And so that Kawhi Leonard, I remember seeing that Kawhi Leonard 3-pointer in Game 7, like right over a 7-footer, falling down, 4 bounces on the rim and going in.
That was just crazy.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
I think what's interesting is just listening to all, especially you two, Armon and Harrison, the influence that this has on your life, right? Even for me, as you mentioned the 1980, Olympic game. You mentioned, Armon, how watching that game influenced your love for basketball and some of the influence you've had, Harrison. But I remember walking out of the movie Miracle in 2004 in Texas A&M, and that movie I walked, and I was a business major at Texas A&M, but at that moment I'd been questioning, do I need to be a coach? And I walked out of that movie and was like, I need to be a coach. All right, I'm going to run my list really quickly, really fast. I shared this with Dr. Rush the other day. Some of you guys might have no clue what this is. So, big Braves fan in 1992, NLCS. Yep. Francisco Cabrera, pinch hitter. Yep. Sid Bream, probably the slowest guy on the Braves, was on second, base hit, play at the plate, was safe. Braves went to the World Series. It was amazing. John Paxson, their first Bulls three-peat, a huge 3-point shot to go ahead against the Suns in '93. I mean, I remember being in front of the TV, jumping so high and going nuts. Jordan's game winner in '97 finals against the Jazz, buzzer beater. The 1998 home run race with McGuire, when he got 62 to go above Babe Ruth, was phenomenal. Obviously, Jordan's iconic game winner against the Jazz in '98, his final shot with the Bulls. 2008 men's swimming relay to beat the French. French were talking a little smack to the U.S. team, and they won by like 100th of a second. It was phenomenal.
Swimming, didn't see that one coming.
Cubbies fan. I remember my son was 2 weeks old. I was holding him in my arms and watching at midnight, watching the Cubs win the World Series. And I couldn't be loud because I didn't want to wake him up, but in my head, I'm going nuts. Devin Hester.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a Bears fan, so Super Bowl, kickoff return was phenomenal.
The coach said for him not to kick it to him, and he still kicked
Right?
it. Yeah.
Right? And it's funny, you look back at that video, technology, right? The old cameras, that was one of the last few times where the flashes were just going off like crazy.
Yeah.
AC Law, I'm going to bring back
nice.
shot against Texas, us Aggies. Game 1 of the World Series for the Rangers when Adolis walk-off was amazing.
That was sick.
And then I'll say, and then this is one, I'll give you a thought. We don't have to talk about it now. But games or moments like this that crushed you. So the opposite. So, for example, I would say, I remember as a kid watching Christian Laettner hit that 3 against Kentucky. I was not a Duke fan at that time. Anyways, something to think about down the road.
Yeah, I mean,
memories that crushed you.
Yep.
real quick. I was not alive, but I've seen documentaries, crazy videos. You guys probably watched it, the Red Sox 3-0 comeback and the
Phenomenal.
that was
Phenomenal.
crazy. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
real,
a good one.
Yeah,
That's
crushing moments.
That's a
It
good
goes
one.
crazy.
We'll
I
put
mean,
that on the docket.
Yeah.
I just want to say, because I left this out of my great memories and sports moments, is just growing up and watching the Chiefs win Super Bowls and the Royals win World Series. That was a very cool moment for me. I remember the Kansas City Royals won the World Series and like running outside, go to my neighbor's house to celebrate. Fireworks going off. It was pretty cool.
That's sick. Yeah.
Good times.
Especially,
Good times.
sorry, real quick, as Patriots fans and Celtics fans, my dad has obviously told me like many things, but I remember seeing a video and I thought this was the year that we won it, and I saw like this shot and I was like, if I was alive, I was like seriously watching when Ron Artest hit that like 3, like that dagger to go ahead against the
Ron
Celtics
Artest, nice.
in the finals, and then the helmet catch. I mean, that was
There's the one that crushed you. Right there.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got next time, Harrison? What
next
do we do?
time we might have another guest or two maybe. We'll have the homework assignment. Obviously, we'll do a full Super Bowl recap, and then we might have another topic.
All right, well, I'm excited, gentlemen. Thank you for your time
Thank
this
you
morning.
so
I
much.
really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
your thought process. Obviously, Armon continued success this season, and certainly beyond Parish. We're all fans of you and the team, and we'll be there cheering loud and proud and trying to get another state title. And
Yes, sir.
Mr. Anderson's doing a great job as head of middle school, and everybody loves that guy. So thank you, gentlemen. And that's all we got for today.
Yep.
Thank you.